Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Midnight disaster as the jewel was shattered. She scattered everything after she planned the Great Lion 51st birthday crossover, but was ghosted for others. Hey! They said when information now got to the jewel that the Great Lion was right there in the palace, and that at the time, this time she had waited and waited and waited. They had already started, doing the birthday, other wives, they bought cakes and all of that. And so the Great Lion had even started kind of doing the birthday cake. Gospel came with fireworks. Okay, Gospel arranged fireworks for the jewel. They brought the daughter. Gospel arranged fireworks. Dr. Lizzie was there. She was very unhappy because of what she knew was going on. Blo Blo was there. That is Dr. Sapphire was there. Blo Blo was there. Ebony was there. Gospel was the one who arranged the fireworks. Ebony was the one who arranged the cake and all of that. So they were actually doing the crossover in the palace without her knowing. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not to say Delaram will always want him to be with the jewel. But if you ask me, yes, the jewel is, the main deal. You and I know at this point in time, as we are talking about, as we are talking here, a lot is ongoing in the palace. They have what they call Arun Ikoko is there. They have done those rituals that can just keep that thing hanging until the jewel comes back and all of that. Now, when you look at what is going on, you begin to wonder what kind of confusion is this at this time. People are unhappy with what is going on, but the jewel did not show up. The jewel was very, very upset. Very upset. And for anything that will make the jewel, the Great Lion was upset with the jewel. And for anything that will make the Great Lion stay that angry with the jewel, it is something that is big. And what it was actually big because they had, I don't even want to begin to tell you what is going on. There were new accusations against the jewel, but that is something I will talk on the other video. The Great Lion did not show up. The Great Lion ghosted her for these other Oloris. They stayed in the palace. They had their crossover praying, their crossover traditional things, their crossover everything. As at 6 o'clock, okay, they had already, because if you notice the way the arrangement, from what we got to, from what I gathered, if the information is correct, the way the arrangement happened, you will see that the Great Lion did not plan to do anything, okay? So he just wanted to mark and do his prayer, camp prayer. You remember that his 50th birthday last year by this time, it was, talk of the town. It was celebrated all over and all of that. But this time he wanted something quiet. So what they said they did was the Ebony and Gospel, they put their hands together, and Blo Blo, they arranged everything, and it was Gospel who came with the fireworks arrangement. The way they brought Kabiesi's daughter, they gathered people, not so many people, but few people inside the palace, not outside the palace. They started shooting the fireworks. They celebrated him. They did the prayers for him, and he prayed by himself, prayed with his people and all of that. They said this whole thing was arranged within 4 hours for him, when they found out that he was not going anywhere again, because initially he had told them that he was going to spend that crossover birthday with the jewel so they can pray together. But all of a sudden, he didn't say anything again. He didn't talk about going to meet with the jewel again and all of that. And this is not something that you say maybe they have started controlling him again. No, it was anger in his heart over this thing that this Mbrukem, a pastor in Sydney, started. That seed that Mbrukem pastor in Sydney has started, multiplying, and is the result of that seed that they sowed that is bringing all of this confusion. They said the jewel shattered birthday cake, scattered things that she arranged. She was shattered. She was heartbroken. She cried and cried. They said the mother of the jewel was literally crying with her, begging her, holding her, telling her to let it go. Because at the time when all of this was happening, the Great Lion had not spoken to the jewel to say, okay, this is the problem. This is what is going on. This is what I heard again. So now, you know that at this time, she didn't even know what was going on. Oh. She had called the Great Lion time and time again. The man did not pick. She didn't know. It was from, you know, her own personal intel that she was getting what was going on in the palace. That they had done the crossover. Like midnight, they had done the crossover with other wives and everything. She did not know what was going on. So the first thing that came to her own mind was, there we go again. Like maybe they started controlling him again. Maybe something has gone wrong again. Maybe they have gone back to that cycle of, you know, a whole lot. She was confused. She was tired. She didn't know what was going on. Meanwhile, she did not know that after all the arrangement had happened between herself and the Great Lion, and she had left that morning, that is midday that day, that 16th, right? And information had come to the Great Lion that, you know, she had a dinner with Pastor David Nwinge. You know, all of this thing that they told, that the Great Lion found out. The Great Lion only knew that when you know, the jewel went to London for a speaking engagement. That was when she met with Pastor David Nwinge, okay? And the Great Lion knew that she met, the first time that she met Pastor David Nwinge, she met Pastor David Nwinge in the uncle's, with the uncle, okay, that evening. That was the first time that they ever saw each other. Then the second time that she met Pastor David was during that program, the program that even brought Bishop Ogun from Sydney and Pastor David to UK, right? So it was the same program that took the jewel to the UK. So during that speaking, that program, it was the second time that she met with Pastor David Nwinge. The Great Lion had never been told or had no idea that there was even a dinner anytime. They had a dinner anytime, whatever dinner anytime, whether it was a 5-star dinner or a 3-star dinner or a 2-star dinner. The Great Lion did not know. But when an intel came after, you know, the jewel had left, okay, after they did that reconciliation, everybody was happy, the jewel had left, and intel came that, you know, Pastor David Nwinge and the jewel, they had a dinner, okay. Now, the Great Lion thought that the jewel was being economical with the truth. The jewel had not told him everything that he needed to know about their meeting in the UK. Apparently, the jewel what do you call? The jewel consented to that arrangement that the uncle was doing to get Pastor David Nwinge into her life and all of that. That was how the jewel saw it. So when that intel got to the jewel was very, very upset. That they said that he was so upset. And that was why he canceled every arrangement he had with the jewel just to end up with these women. And they did their crossover night. And because, you know, Dr. Sapphire knew everything that was going on, they said throughout that crossover to his birthday, they said Sapphire was very, very sad. This is what we are hearing. Oh, they said the jewel got so mad. The jewel scattered things. She was mad. She was broken. She was shattered. The mother was crying. The mother was holding her. She said she is tired of this back and forth. What is this and all of that? You see this time, is that the uncle? You see that the uncle, that man, It's not the one I'm calling him Brukemo, because no matter what, I still have to respect him. I'm calling that David Nwungi, I mean Winga, or Wing. If that's the name, if you people can pronounce it, you pronounce it. That's the one I'm calling him Brukem. That is what we heard is going on. I'm going to bring you more. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.